Hi, I'm Matt, and this, for want of a better name, is the Matt Hat. It's basically a baseball cap with a reflective visor, and when you attach a smartphone, it turns into augmented reality head-up display, sort of like a Google Glass but with a wider field of view. Now let's be clear, this isn't a consumer product. There's a bit of DIY assembly required, and the current software is fairly rudimentary. It's designed for people who want to explore the possibilities of augmented reality on the cheap. And let's face it, who wants to spend $1,500 on a technology that may turn out to be a dead end? To support the hat, I've put together a software development kit for Android, along with documentation and a few demo apps in the Play Store. Nothing for the iPhone, sorry, I don't have any skills in that area. The software development kit and source code for the demo apps, along with news and announcements, can be found on the website matthat.net. I built the first prototype of this product when I was studying a PhD in geospatial science. There's a lot of spatial data sitting out there in databases, and I thought it would be really cool if you could see that data while you're walking around. It's simple enough to display spatial data on a smartphone, but the trick is making it appear in front of your eyes at a distance which is comfortable for viewing. So I built this hat here from office supplies and a couple of Fresnel lenses. It looks pretty cool, but it's kind of uncomfortable because the weight of the phone is sitting on the end. So I taught myself 3D CAD software and used 3D printing and CNC machining to make a simpler, more robust design. Again, this used a baseball cap, but with a half-mirrored curved visor performing both the reflection and the magnification. After a few iterations and a lot of number crunching, I finally came up with a design that worked reliably. If you pledge $50 or more, you'll receive a package containing a half-mirrored reflective visor, an attachment part, and a baseball cap. Now there's a bit of assembly involved. The main step involves cutting a rectangular slot in the brim of the cap. The slot should be a bit wider than your smartphone and about 5mm thicker. I'd recommend marking the rectangle in pencil and then cutting it out using a Stanley knife like this. The caps are pretty tough, so be careful when you're cutting and do it on a cutting board so that you don't damage your table. When you're done, tape up the edges with electrical tape so that the edges don't fray. When it comes to the smartphone, I recommend using something that's a bit narrower than the distance between your eyes, which is about 62mm. Wider phones still work, but they'll block part of your view. You're better off using something small and cheap, like this old HTC Tattoo. The smartphone slides into the slot upside down and facing forwards. Because the screen of a phone is fairly slippery, it's best to apply some sort of adhesive to the surface. These sellotape sticky dots work well, but you can get away with something like blue tack. Once you've got the phone in place, hold it there with a rubber band and you're done. One working Matt Hat. Of course, it's tricky to launch apps once your phone is in place, so it's usually a good idea to start the app beforehand. This prototype was made using 3D printing and CNC machining, but it's designed to be manufactured using injection molding. A big chunk of the Kickstarter funds will be used to make injection molds at a factory in Shenzhen. The actual production, packaging and distribution will be outsourced to a firm that specialises in this sort of thing, so I'm not expecting any problems. In terms of timing, I'll authorise production of the injection molds as soon as the funding threshold is reached, and I'll kick off production once the Kickstarter campaign ends. You should receive your hats about 6 weeks after that. See ya.